Just 25 miles from the Nevada border in the railroad town of Portola, California, eager photographers gather at the Western Pacific Railroad Museum to snap a picture of a locomotive never before seen in this area. This is the Big Boy 4014, and it's the largest steam locomotive in the world.
To be able to see the largest steam train in the world, especially the one that still works, it's out of this world.
The Big Boy is the holy grail of locomotives in the train spotting community, and for the first time, it's entered into California on a whistle-stop tour from Portola to Roseville.
So Big Boy's operated from Ogden, Utah, effectively to North Platte, Nebraska. Very small network. So we're making history here when we're traveling with the Big Boy, because Big Boy's never traveled out in this part of the country.
Ed Dickinson is with Union Pacific's Heritage Operations, and he's the one operating this beast.
Well, we're talking 545,000 pounds just on the drivers. The locomotive is 610 tons, which weighs as much as 3 of those.
A total of just 25 Big Boys were built between 1941 and 1944. All of them, though, were retired just a few years later in 1959 when Union Pacific moved to the more efficient diesel locomotives. Now, most Big Boys were either scrapped or donated to museums, but in 2019, Ed and his team brought the 4014 back to life.
2.5 years it took us to completely disassemble this locomotive and build it back up again.
As the Big Boy leaves Portola, I was offered a ride through a portion of the Feather River Canyon, one of California's most scenic and historic railroad routes. These are just one-of-a-kind views that you get in here. Now, you may remember my episode on the 7 wonders of the Feather River Canyon. Yeehaw! And you'll recognize this, the Callao Bridge. This 105-foot-long steel trestle stands more than 170 feet over Willow Creek. From inside the Big Boy, it feels like you're flying. And from ground level, spectators get one heck of a view. So as these guys roll through town, they have a certain celebrity status with all the rail fans. 19 miles northwest of the Callao Bridge is one of the Feather River Canyon's most unique engineering innovations, the Williams Loop. In order to get over the steep hill and keep the track at a 1% grade, builders looped a mile of track over itself, much like a spiral staircase. This is also where I got off the Big Boy to join the rail fans on the ground, because I wanted to see the next stop. The Ketty Y is the only railroad Y in the world with 2 tracks merging over a canyon and then entering a tunnel. The trestle is located high above Spanish Creek, and below the Ketty Resort is where you get one of the best views of the bridge. What do you guys think?
Big, steaming, hot, great. Can't complain.
It takes a really dedicated person to be a train enthusiast to capture that perfect picture. As the 135-foot-long locomotive heads out of the Feather River Canyon, more and more train spotters start jumping on Highway 70 to see the Big Boy cross the Tobin Bridges, a railroad and vehicle bridge that crosses over each other. Locals say it's good luck to have a train pass over your car. Or was it worth the wait?
Oh, heck yes. I'm a fireman on the Virginia Truckee Railroad, and this thing is more impressive than anything I've ever worked on. Sorry, engines.
When the train reached Oroville, temperatures outside were 115 degrees, but that didn't stop a massive crowd from forming. Inside the locomotive, though, next to the boiler, the crews can experience even hotter temperatures.
Yesterday it was 135 degrees in this cab.
Waiting at the Big Boy's final destination in Roseville were thousands of onlookers. The crowd spilled across Vernon Square.
Who would have thought this many people come for a train? It's amazing.
We spend a lot of time at the Railroad Museum.
We're train fanatics.
Yeah.
Well, it's unclear if or when the Big Boy will return to California, but if you want to see the locomotives on the Feather River Canyon now, there's nothing stopping you from meeting up with a fellow rail fan and seeing the historic railroad yourself. From the Big Boy, I'm John Bartel. Hope to see you on the back roads.